Welcome to the LDD podcast. It's what we do. It's what we do.
Welcome to episode 2 of the LDD It's What We Do podcast. Now today's guest, as I said before, we're going to mix it up with different positions and different companies. Now this guy, he works for Mace Construction and he's the project director of Battersea Power Station Phase 2. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Mike Barford. Hello mate,
how are you?
Thanks for coming.
No,
Thanks
welcome.
for coming,
Thank
really
you for inviting
appreciate
me.
it. Right.
Good, thank you. Yes, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Nice place you got here.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
So, we're going to get straight into it.
Good.
The first question we always ask is, what do you do? It's what you do.
Well, I'm project director at Battersea Power Station Phase 2, which is the actual power station. It's getting on for a £1.7 billion project.
Wow.
The refurb of the old power station, first built in 1933, I think, and then added on in 55.
Was you on that phase?
I was on that phase, yeah. And then I feel like I was on that phase. Anyway, it's been a long 3 years, and we're doing a proper mixed use development there, residential, office, and indeed F&B and retail. So it's a proper mixed use development, very exciting. I mean, you know a bit because you work there too sometimes.
Yes. But what do you do?
As project director, I kind of run the project on behalf of Mace, and Mace are the CM on that project on behalf of Battersea Power Station Development Company. Been there for 3 years, got there September 17, and we've probably got another year before we get the whole thing finished off by October 21.
So one of the questions that I thought about is, when you go to a job that big and you get a blank canvas, what's it like? So it's like day one of that project for you. What is it like?
You just got to break it down, Ziggy. If you take the whole thing on its enormity, I think very quick anybody would drown and get kind of overwhelmed by it. So you've got to break it down into bite-sized pieces. If I'm honest, you go back to basics and just start doing the basic things very well if you can do. And from that, you grow your plan, your program, your processes. I mean, Mates have got plenty of processes, so that's all covered. It's just the application of those to that particular project. So bit by bit, day by day, and then you formulate a strategic plan that takes you to a 3, 6, 12, 4-year plan.
I remember standing in that the middle of Battersea when it had nothing there, just the four corners. Yeah. And you do not realise how big the place is.
It's massive. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole project is 2.4 million square feet. So you've got 500,000 square feet of Apple space, commercial. You've got like 258 apartments, and you've got some like 125 retail units as well, plus public realm and landlord areas. So it really is a magnificent project. But it's enormous. The closer you get to it, the bigger it appears. You know. In fact, the more you walk around it, Ziggy, the bigger it appears.
Yeah, definitely.
Sadly,
we'll come on to some questions about things like that.
Good. Sport or just on work?
Who do you support?
West Ham.
Oh, good boy.
Hence the claret and blue top.
Who has been your biggest mentor in construction through your career?
I've had many. I've had the pleasure of working with some really great people, but it would have to be Ian Wiley. I think the late great Ian Wiley. He was really the kind of person I looked up to. I'd call for advice. Was always calm and collected, and to his credit, always had an answer and was nearly always right. Had great esteem, great character, great gravitas, and just sort of person you could look up to and get a straight answer. Who's your mentor?
That's a good question.
We're allowed to do this, aren't we? We're allowed to go backwards and forwards. Is that just you giving me?
My early years, just my old boss Robert.
Right.
He was definitely he was decent. I don't know. Later years, I've sort of been around a few older guys, and you sort of pick up different things, don't you? As you get.
You do. You're right.
But my early years, it was my old boss Robert.
Good.
But yeah,
Good.
he was a hard taskmaster.
I'll make a note of that.
What's been your best project in your career? Now, if people don't know, you've worked Bahamas,
Yep.
UAE.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia, Australia, a little bit in North America. So I've got.
Is someone at Mace trying to tell you something?
I think so. They're trying to get rid of me. Aren't they? Trying to turf me up.
So you've got to come on. What was your favourite?
Well, do you know what? Because you were good enough to give me a heads up on the questions, and I respect that, and therefore not being caught cold and nothing to say. And it sounds a bit sort of cliche, but it's not about the projects, because I have done some beautiful projects, and I'm lucky, magnificent, big, large, difficult. It's about the people, Ziggy. Really, when you think about a project, if you drive past one of your jobs in London or see it on the news, you know, always relate that to a person or people or team of people you work with and experiences. So I'm going to say it's about the people, not the project, and I mean that sincerely. City Hall was a great game changer for me. That really was a great project we did at More London. That was a proper CM approach, very collaborative with Foster's, Arabs and DLNE. But projects are about people, and that's what I hold on to, and I mean that.
Good answer.
Thank you.
This question is a real good one. If you could give one bit of advice to your 20-year-old self, what would it be? Now, I know that could be quite a long time ago for you, but...
Yeah, it's an awful long time ago, to be fair, and I can barely remember.
But it is a good question.
I can't remember 20 minutes ago, Ziggy, let alone 20 years ago. But do you know what? I think a lot of people who try and force their way through life kind of think it's their way or no way. So my advice to me, to that sort of person, would have been try and see things from other people's perspective. When I was that age, sadly, and to my shame, I thought I was right. I thought it was my way or no way. And although that forced a path through certain projects, it wasn't always the best way to go. So my advice would be sometimes just see things from different perspectives and respect people's opinion.
And is that why you got the nickname Biff, do you think?
Well, there's a couple of reasons behind that nickname. One was I was quite boisterous and aggressive, and the other, she'll stay silent for the time being.
I thought it was because you was really intelligent.
No, afraid not. No, that's my brother. You get me mixed up. You've got the wrong day.
What would you be doing if you weren't in construction? And you come from very, your family's very, what's the word I'm looking for, Mike?
Clever, articulate,
clever, yeah.
Intelligent. Yeah, it's tricky. Do you know what? I don't know, because, again, without being too painful about it, I love construction. The people you meet, the job you do, the variation it brings. So I really often think about this. What other industry would accept my certain mannerisms or the comradeship? It'd have to be maybe oil or possibly even the army. I might have flipped into that.
Sergeant Barford.
Yes, yeah, I like to think more like Mace Barford, if I'm honest. But
that was, I thought of something and I just forgot about a question you led me into.
Yeah.
Never mind, carry on.
Dory. Did they call you Dory? we're in a goldfish bowl here, aren't we? It's like being interviewed.
So big thing, especially what you're doing now, is mental health, right, in our industry. Now, how many men are down on that site?
2,700 through the gate.
So what, is Mace doing anything for the actual site on that?
Yeah. So we're doing sort of, we do a lot of head office. We have, at Mace we have a stress prevention policy. We have a particular phone line to call. We have lots of wellbeing and seminars. But at Battersea, because even before COVID, Ziggy, we kind of recognise that it's quite a fatiguing project, a very difficult project, very demanding, not easy to get to. Quite demanding timeline. So even before COVID set in, we were concerned about fatigue and wellbeing. So we got 13 unlucky number wellbeing ambassadors who are trained to be sort of mental health ambassadors who you can talk to and have dialogue with if you're out on site and you feel stress. We also did a questionnaire for all the Mace staff recently about how they think their life's panning out with regards to COVID and working from home or not working from home. Is that causing stress? And we do other things like running clubs, breakfast with the board, that kind of stuff. So we're just trying to make sure, Ziggy, that it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to talk to people. And we're trying to encourage that communication starts early rather than too late. Yeah. It's a tragic place we're in currently. It's been an awful year for a lot of people. And I don't think it's been easy for anybody, Ziggy, personally. So we're just trying to sort of make it clear to every staff member that it's okay not to be okay, and it's, you know, if you've got a problem, talk before it becomes a problem, if that makes sense. You know, maybe not even your line manager, but maybe a colleague or a friend or a mentor, but just get talking before it becomes overbearing. You like running, right? Do you think does that clear your head? So. I think it's a well-known fact that sort of physical exercise does help with mental resting. I think it's a distraction, and, you know, fit in body, fit in mind, and vice versa. So I do think some sort of exercise is healthy, and also, you know, gets you out and you meet people and you chat, and sometimes if you're on a run with a mate, you might say something you might not want to do in an office or a pub, you know. Yeah. So I do think it's healthy. Yeah, I do.
Especially the responsibility that you've got. It must. I mean, I've never really seen you blow your top, other than the time that I stole your phone from the aeroplane and you had 2 attendants looking down the back of the chair and making them call for engineers to be at the gate when we landed. Yeah. But I can imagine that you have some bad days there. And
yeah, that was a bad hour of my life, to be honest. But, no, you do have bad days, and I have been known in the past to be a little bit volatile, but it's just unacceptable nowadays to be volatile, if I'm honest. You know, on site you can be, and this is an interesting point, because, you know, you run your own business, and we do deal with some different characters, don't we, on site, and sometimes those characters only hear one particular tone, which isn't the same tone you can use in the office. Yeah. So part of our job, and a part of my role I enjoy, is treating people in different ways depending upon how they receive your message. So I do try and keep calmer nowadays, and I try not to be disrespectful and lose my temper, because it's just it's not very professional. It's not particularly constructive. But when I do get uptight, it's because I care. So it's not a bad thing. I'm not getting uptight because I'm trying to throw my weight around, Ziggy. I get uptight because I care about the project, I care about the people, and I care about the outcome.
I actually noticed when we first started working for you, you go and make sure that you know the names of each of our contract managers.
Yeah.
Which
try
there must be a lot of people that you.
I mean, there's 2,500 men on site. I don't know all their names, but
the management you try to.
You try to. You know, again, the beauty of our industry, isn't it? That 1 minute you're talking to the guy on the gate with a brush and a broom, and that's not demeaning what he does or she does. Next thing you're talking to a business owner or a landowner or a client or an architect, and that's the beauty of what we do, the variation in who we meet. And I don't care what you do on a project, you are owed respect, you know, and I'll give the same respect to the client as I will do the guy on the gate, because they're all human and they all deserve the same level of respect, in my humble opinion.
Do you want to know the best bit of advice that I've got given by my old boss?
If I said no, would you still give it to me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
What you just touched on there, he said to me, you see that kid in the yard sweeping the broom? Make sure you know who he is and never forget him, because you never know where that young man might end up. And it always sticks with me, that one.
It's
quite so simple.
But it's a famous saying that, you know, you meet people on the way up and you meet back on the way back down again, you know, and why can't you be respectful to someone?
But like most senior people, especially in your position, wouldn't give half them people the time of day. You do know that in our industries.
Possibly. I mean, I can't comment for other people. I take pleasure in talking to guys in the field, because you find out a lot about them, their lives, and what makes them tick. So why wouldn't you, you know?
What would you change in construction if you could?
Blame culture. I think as when I first started off,
it's your fault.
It was far more collaborative, and everyone got on with each other, and there was always latitude. You know, if you made a mistake, somebody gave you a second chance, or someone gave you a break. But nowadays, for whatever reason, the blame culture is almost overbearing, and it brings out the worst in us, and it hides the best in us. You know, nothing better than working on site with trades, architect clients collaboratively and getting things done together. But when you get people pointing fingers, you go back into your shell and become defensive, and therefore the output is almost negative, if I'm honest.
Who's the worst to deal with? Your own staff, the subbies, the architects, your clients?
Well, it depends who's watching. They all bring their own challenges, you know. They all bring their own challenges.
We touched about that. What has been the best bit of advice you've had in your career? Can you remember?
Yeah, I can actually. It's don't ask a question you might not like the answer to. Because, you know, again, if you're in a certain position and you think you might ask a question that the person feels forced to give you the answer they think you want to hear, sometimes they don't, and you sometimes got to prepare yourself for hearing stuff you don't want to hear.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, good.
Yeah, we like that.
Good. Can I sell that? Can I sell it somewhere? Is that
I'll be quite interested in this one. What's your funniest story in construction that's clean and that you can get away with saying? Have you got one for me?
Not that falls into that criterion, if I'm honest. No, I mean, again, you know, fair play to you doing these podcasts. It's brilliant. I watched last week. I watched Lee, and he was sitting there laughing and giggling and
you got to have a little bit of that, right?
I've got many moments in my life where. You know, working with good people and just having a good time. You know, good people, good time, work hard, play hard. I couldn't put my finger on any one, Ziggy, but construction has opened a world to me where I've met volumes of great people, and you know, I often think about it. A lot of my friends are related to work, and I'm not ashamed by that, because they're good people, and I want to be with them. So. I don't see that's been a failure. I've got friends from college and friends from school and friends local, but a lot of my friends are construction related because they're good people and I enjoy their company. And it's just proper
Bants,
people having,
as you call it,
having bants together, and it's brilliant, and I love it, and it's refreshing, and it's light-hearted, and it's not too serious.
What is your drive and passion today?
What, right now?
Well,
getting out of here probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite tough around here in East London.
Yeah.
4:30, mate. It's a scramble.
Did a lot in the car. I think currently my mind is focused on getting Battersea finished in a year's time with a bit of style and a bit of panache. I know it's a bit corny, but a lot of what I do, Ziggy, a lot of what I try to do is actually kind of grow a team around me and grow the people around me, and I take a lot of time and pleasure in mentoring and growing people. Not always in a positive way, probably, but you know, again, when you ask me what's my best project, it's not about that, it's about the people, and I enjoy working with people, and I enjoy growing and learning with people. So short term is get Battersea done in a year's time with a bit of style, a bit of panache and have some laughs. And that really is my main focus. It's been 3 years there, 3 quite hard years, and we've got 1 really hard year left, you know.
To be fair, you've not really had much time off this whole of this year.
No.
You've been through
the show.
Your hair's a bit longer.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried when you had the beard on.
Yeah.
You look like Tom Hanks in that film.
Yeah, Lost. Yeah. I wish I had his money, but his
where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? That's obvious, isn't it?
Hopefully alive. I'll be 63 then. I know, hard to believe, eh?
You better have a paper round, mate.
Thanks to the makeup lady. But do you know what? 10 years is a long time to be in construction. I think 5 years is a good time. 5 years maybe either on a big project or being a construction director for a few projects, you know. But I know I should know better, but at 53 I'm just going to focus on the next sort of 12 months, if that's all right. And
that's
it's a bit narrow-minded, but it's a brutal 12 months. I want to make sure I get that under my belt. Maybe I get some time off after Battersea. What do you think? Does this go up to anybody, you know, that I should know?
I don't know who follows me, to be fair.
Well, in that case,
you might get a promotion. Is that good?
I think I think that's going to be deaf ears, Ziggy, but there you go.
What's a common misconception about your profession that you would like to debunk?
Now, I know you didn't write that question because you don't know what debunk means, do you? No. Okay, cool. Do you know what? I tell you a common. I think it is that we don't care. I think construction people get a bad reputation that they don't care about what they do, and they're always trying to claim more money or more time or can't do this, can't do that, and that just isn't true. You know, when you get a good set of trades, client, architects, consultants together on a good project, and there is a collaborative spirit, it's amazing what we can do. But I think we get a lot of bad press for the 1 or 2 jobs that don't go too well, and I think that drags down the whole industry. So I'm proud of being in construction, and I think we do a brilliant job.
Yeah.
Personally, and I think we do good things with good people, and I think it's a shame we get dragged down for 1 or 2 bad projects that just get the press. You know, you don't see the news, good project on time, on budget, and safely. That doesn't get any airtime. You just get the crap jobs that get the airtime. You know, so that's my main bugbear that I'd like to debunk with a K, not a C.
What would you do different if you had your time again?
I think I would, just touching on what I said earlier, I think I would probably pause and listen a bit more when I was younger, rather than kind of believe in my own press and my own PR. You know, there's a lot of good people out there that deserve being listened to, and I probably was a bit too forceful and a bit too narrow-minded. So if I had my time again, definitely in construction, love what I do, but maybe I'd be a bit more steady and a little bit more considered in my approach, if I'm honest.
But do you feel proud of what you do, especially at the minute? Of all them?
Yeah, you know, I feel proud of what I do. I feel proud of what the team around me does. I feel proud of what we bring to society. You know, I feel proud of what you do, and you know other companies do on well-being and safety. I feel proud that we employ local people. You know, that's where would we be without construction? And you know, it's a massive part of our GDP, and it's a massive part of our society, and it's a massive part of our history, isn't it? And yeah, I'm very proud of it. And
you should be.
Well, yeah, I enjoy it, which is always helps.
When
you enjoy something, it helps. I mean, a bit of advice for somebody younger than me would be, choose a profession that when you wake up Monday morning, you want to get out of bed and go to work. You know, I say to my 2 daughters who are 18 and 20, choose a career that you love, choose a career that you want to do, not a career that you think might get you the best money or the best prospects. You know, Monday morning, wake up in the morning, what do you want to do? And that's what you should focus on.
I had on the tools. I had some of the best years of my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I think some of the jobs we did, Cardiff Arms, Rugby Ground.
Yeah.
We'd done a demo on that.
Yeah.
And so some of the times we had working away.
Yeah.
I loved every minute. I wouldn't change.
No.
I would not change anything.
I think it's if you're not in the industry, a few of my friends, you know, who aren't in the game, sort of see the comradeship I have with my work colleagues. They can't quite believe it, you know, and you know, the comradeship, the solidarity, it's just brilliant. Yeah, brilliant, really good.
Well, as always, I asked some of your bosses, work colleagues, subcontractors, 2 words to describe
big ears.
Big something. To describe Mr. Barford. Do you want me to read them out to you?
Only if they're flattering. If they're not flattering, don't bother.
Infectious, astute, charismatic and driven, proper builder, tenacious and loyalist, which I don't know what that one was, no. Industrious leader, personable leader, and tip top.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Can I put that in my CV? Can I
Yes,
photo shoot that?
I'll tell you who said what after the
Yeah,
cameras are turned off.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah?
Yeah, good on you.
And as we always like to know a bit more about you, what's your go-to restaurant in normal times?
I like Cicconi's, can't go wrong there. Just traditional Italian restaurant, good service, good fun. So but and again, it's about the company, isn't it? So that's what I like.
Amazing.
To do.
Yeah. Mr. Mike Barford, it's the LDD podcast. It's what we do. Many thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting
Thanks
me.
for coming. You're a pleasure.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely.